Today on May's Mortgage Map, we'll be going over adjustable rate mortgage, ARMs.
Let's use an example of a 5/6 ARM. The numbers 5/6 in front of ARM is an indication of time, meaning the rate is constant for the first 5 years and then it adjusts every 6 months. Rate caps are used to protect the borrower from payment shock. The 3 numbers are related to the most an interest rate can increase in a given period. Rate caps have 3 sections separated by the slashes. The first number 5 is associated to the very first adjustment of the interest rate called an initial rate cap. The second number 2 is the periodic rate cap for all the subsequent adjustments thereafter. The final number at the end is the lifetime rate cap, also known as the ceiling cap, which doesn't allow an interest rate to exceed more than a 6% increase. You can typically find these 3 numbers written right after the 5/6 ARM. This lifetime cap of 11 can be found by adding the starting interest rate of 5 to the lifetime rate cap of 6 in order to have a maximum interest rate of 11. The margin is seen as the lender's profit and overhead. This number doesn't change throughout the loan term. It is added to the index, which is the market's current interest rate, to calculate the fully indexed rate. The gray box is just a few tidbit information on ARM's disclosures. Let's move on to the calculations. There are 2 formulas used to calculate the interest rate. In Formula 1, the index is a measure of cost. The 5 common indices are COFR, SOFR, COFI, U.S. Treasury, and Prime. The index plus margin equals the fully indexed rate. In this example, we will be using a start rate of 5% for a 5/6 ARM loan with rate caps of 5, 2, 6. We take the start rate of 5% and add the 6% lifetime rate cap to come up with a lifetime cap of 11%. The margin is set at 2.5. You will find this loan written like this. Let's look at these 2 equations here. They will be used in the caps calculation of Formula 2. The top equation is only used once, right after the first 5 years when the start rate is over. This would be considered as the first adjustment period utilizing the initial rate cap. Remember, year 1 through 5 begins as a teaser introductory rate with a start rate of 5%. After the 5th year, that rate could jump to this 10%. Afterwards, the bottom equation will be used periodically every 6 months. That's the middle number with a periodic rate cap of 2. To use Formula 2, we'll be taking the actual existing rate and add it to the applicable rate cap. Let's start applying these 2 formulas to a few equations. First adjustment in Formula 1, say the current index is 4.25%. Add it to the margin of 2.5 and you'll get a fully indexed rate of 6.75. For simplicity purposes, since the margin does not change, we will be applying the 2.5% margin all the way through the 6th adjustment. In Formula 2 of the same problem, we will compute the math for the first adjustment period by taking the start rate of 5 and adding it to initial rate cap of 5 to get the cap's calculation of 10%. Now, between the 2 formulas, Formula 1, the fully indexed rate of 6.75% will be used to compare it to Formula 2 of the 10% caps rate. We will then take the lower of the 2 formulas and that will be our borrower's actual rate for the next 6 months. The next 6 months rolls by, and it's now time for the second adjustment. Let's say the market's current index rate just so happens to be 6.75%. Add that to the margin of 2.5, and we will get a fully indexed rate of 9.25%. Moving forward on the caps calculation side, the periodic cap of 2 will now be used for the life of the loan. It will need to be added to the borrower's previous actual rate. In this case, 6.75% of the actual rate plus 2% of the periodic rate cap will give us a CAPS calculation of 8.75. Out of the two rates you see here, the lower rate will be the borrower's actual loan rate for the next 6 months. That rate will be 8.75% and not the 9.25%. 6 months has quickly arrived, and it's time for the third adjustment. The market's index is saying that the current rate is now 6.5%. With the margin, it will give us a 9% fully indexed rate. We will continue to take the actual rate in the CAPS calculation, use 8.75 and add it to our 2% periodic cap, and that will give us a sum of 10.75%. Which of these rates will be used as the borrower's actual interest rate?
Correcto.
If you've said 9%, you'd be right. The fully indexed rate is the lower of the two interest rates. Let's go ahead to adjustment 4. If the index has now fluctuated to 12.25%, what would the fully indexed rate be? Go ahead, do the math. I'll wait.
No, seriously, come on, do it. Do it.
Will you stop with that?
You got it. 12.25% plus 2.5% equals 14.75. Can you do the math in Formula 2?
You can do it! You can do it! You can do it!
Yes, it's 11%. Determine the actual rate. The smaller of the two is 11%. You're doing great. Are you getting the hang of this? Good, because we'll go to adjustment number 5. The index market rate hasn't changed. It's still at 12.25. That means it remains a 14.75% fully indexed rate. So now, do the CAPS calculation. What did you get? If you came up with 13%, you wouldn't be completely wrong because the actual rate of 11% plus the 2% periodic cap would make it 13. However, do you remember that lifetime cap? Technically speaking, that lifetime cap made this fifth adjustment period a bit trickier. Earlier in this video, we calculated the lifetime cap by adding the start rate of 5% to the 6% lifetime rate cap. That would make this particular borrower's interest rate increase up to the highest threshold of 11%. But wait, we still have to determine which of the two formulas would make the borrower's actual rate for this period. Yep, it'll be the 11% because, first of all, 14.75% surpasses the lifetime cap of 11%, and then secondly, it's the lower of the two formulas. Did I lose you? Don't worry, rewind that last example until you get it. We have one more adjustment to go. Adjustment number 6. The market index dips to 5%. The margin remains at 2.5. So now, the fully indexed rate is 7.5%. If the CAPS calculation is restricting a periodic rate cap drop of 2%, it will leave the borrower with an actual rate of 9%. In this scenario, what will the borrower do in this sticky situation? The rate is now at 9, which is less than the borrower's last rate of 11, but is higher than the current fully indexed rate of 7.5%. As a borrower, I'd want that lower rate. What would the borrower be considering right now? Would this be a refinancing consideration? Hi, I'm May, your loan officer. Can I help you sell, buy, or refinance your home today? Thanks for watching. If you had some good use out of this video, can I count on you to like and subscribe for more content?
See you next time on May's Mortgage Map.